The summer of 1871 had been a brute. It baked the city of Chicago in a relentless, desiccating heat, leaving the wooden buildings and plank roads as dry as tinder. By October 8th, a Sunday, the air itself felt thirsty. In a small barn behind Patrick and Catherine O'Leary's cottage on DeKoven Street, this parched world was ready to ignite. The story would later say it was a kicked lantern, a clumsy cow, a moment of mundane misfortune. The truth of the spark mattered less than the fuel it found. The hay in the O'Leary's barn, the wooden walls, the shingle roofs of the neighbors, everything was ready to burn. The first alarm was called in at 9:40 p.m., but a series of cruel errors followed. The watchman misjudged the location, sending fire engines to the wrong district. The weary, overworked horses struggled to pull the heavy steamers through the dark streets. By the time the correct engines arrived, the fire was no longer a contained blaze in a barn. It was a living, breathing beast. It feasted on the lumber yards and the furniture factories, gorging itself on a city built largely of wood. A hot, gusty wind, the ghost of that dry summer, fanned the embers into a firestorm. Flaming brands, carried on the devil's breath, soared through the sky, landing on rooftops blocks away, starting 100 new fires faster than the beleaguered firefighters could put out the old ones. For 2 days, the city was hell. Elias Thorne, a young bookkeeper, watched from the shore of Lake Michigan as a wall of flame marched toward the heart of the city. The courthouse, with its great bell, burned like a giant torch before its tower collapsed in a shower of sparks. The gasworks exploded, plunging sections of the city into an eerie darkness lit only by the advancing Inferno. The very air he breathed seared his lungs. People became a river of desperation, flowing toward the bridges and the lake, clutching what little they could carry. A woman shoved a framed portrait of her dead husband into Elias's hands before she was swept away in the crowd. He saw a man in a nightshirt standing motionless in the middle of a street, watching his dry goods store vanish into a pillar of fire, his life's work turning to ash in minutes. The Chicago River, slick with oil from the factories along its banks, did not stop the fire. It boiled. The flames leaped across its surface as if it were a mere puddle. For 36 hours, the beast raged, consuming everything in its path: homes, banks, theaters, schools. It was an equal opportunity destroyer, reducing the mansions of the rich and the shanties of the poor to the same smoldering plain. When the rains finally came on the evening of October 10th, they fell on a city of ruins. Over